Midnight Oil with their self-titled debut album, 7 tracks with 33 minutes. As stated, debut album, the Australian 5-piece released in November 1978 by the band's own Powderworks label, produced by Keith Walker at Albert Studios. One single was released from this, Run By Night, and the album peaked at number 43 on the Australian Kent Music Report. This album was also known as the Blue Album due to a vinyl LP having all the cover while the CD as a black one. Who wants to go first on this one?
I'll go first.
Okay, Jimmy.
I love Midnight Oil. Andrew?
Okay.
Midnight Oil is another band that my brother Phil, you've heard me talk about my brother Phil.
Yes.
He's not actually Phil, he's my brother Phil. Right? Got me into this when we were kids. He actually, my brother Phil actually does one of the best Peter Garrett impersonations ever. Well, he used to, but he's old now, so probably can't get the things.
But doesn't necessarily go hand in hand with Peter Garrett anyway at the moment? Or?
Yeah. But he's really good at it. I'll get him down one day and he'll do it.
Do it. Come on down, Phil.
Yeah, this album shows a young band still finding its feet. A bit of a mixed bag of songs, I thought. There's a bit of punk and a surf rock sort of sound in it.
Yep.
Peter Garrett's vocals are yet to find their menacing delivery that came later on. Sounds like... Hello? Sounds like a bit of a new wave vocalist at times on this.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Production's a bit light on especially the drums, I thought. Rob Hurst is such a driving force of that band that it came later on, obviously, but as a first album, you know. They fixed it up later, which is good. It's an okay album for a debut. I think you can hear where so many of those great songs on the later albums came from on this album. You can tell. It's definitely worth a listen. I gave it a 7 out of 10. At the time, I didn't have a pen to write down any standouts, but Mr. Andrew Marshall's given me one now. I haven't had time to write them down, but I will in the future.
That's right, we've got a whole stack of pens from your birthday.
Yes,
the studio for Nick, so that's all right. All right, who's going next? Nikki?
Yeah, definitely, because I'm short, sharp, and to the point. Ooh, into the mic.
Yeah,
all right, wow. Never would have picked this as a Midnight Oil song album, except for that voice. As far as the actual music and the sound went, it was totally unlike anything I had listened to previously by Midnight Oil. That's not a bad thing. I found it experimental, edgy, and I really liked it.
Okay.
And shoot me now, I preferred it to some of their later stuff. I actually really like this.
Okay.
To me, standouts were Used and Abused and Run By Night, which you just referenced. To me it was a completely different sound and I loved it. Loved it. 9 out of 10.
Wow. Nice. There we go.
Okay,
we're having one down, 9 to go.
Midnight Oil was certainly a hard rock band back in the day. And I've always loved the energy on this album.
Yeah.
You said that you've got that punk attitude, still with the Aussie pub rock stylings, and the surf rock as well, which I think is really, really cool. I would love to have seen them live in this era, because apparently that's what really got them to cut through. I love Peter Garrett's vocals on these early albums. I reckon he attacks it with a more sort of reckless abandon. I think later on he's trying to sing more, and let's face it, he doesn't have the best singing voice in the world. He's a great front man, and I love the way he attacks this album. I think it's great. It's another classic Aussie rock album, and I love it. I also gave it 9 out of 10. Highlights for me are Run By Night, Used and Abused, and Powderworks.
Snap!
Oh, just to put on the record, this was Jodie's actual sort of captain's pitch. She chose this album, so she's going to be very happy when she watches this. Now, in the process of making this, the band morphed from originally being a progressive surf rock band into a more punk or hard rock based band that shows on this, in my opinion, especially the diversity on the writing. It's worth noting too that I've listened to the remastered edition and it sounds damn good for 1978 released today. I'm not sure how much difference there is between the original and the remaster or not, but this one sounds pretty fucking good.
That's Albert's couldn't be all bad.
No, the Albert Brothers, everything they touched was good in that regard. Very crisp production, not a big sound list, but everything is captured in a very clean way that the tones all gives it the required grit. And the guitar tones in particular are right out of the era. And I love the panning and depth on this, though they really played with like a 3D landscape sonically on this release. While it's relatively stripped back, the performances are incredibly tight. You can tell that Peter Garrett is still finding his feet a little bit, in my opinion, so I agree with Jimmy in that regard. He's good, but knowing what he's like later on, I think that I get what you're saying about the reckless abandon, but that's you love that kind of stuff.
I do.
Whereas maybe you and I are a bit more purist in that regard, so you can see how he gets better overall, but he's still pretty good on this one, it's just a little more raw. But that may actually make the band more accessible because the lyrics are also a little less political on this one. It's more just party, fun, whatever have you. There's a few moments of sort of storytelling and a bit of political edge to it, but nothing too serious, which I think makes this album pretty accessible to most people, which is clearly what's happening on this one. And there are some decent hooks. They did come from Sydney, so I'll go with that. There are some decent hooks on this one too. The rhythm and melody lend themselves to the aspect really well at times. The synth use on this is done in a way that gives it a classic feel, and I enjoyed that aspect as well. And while the hooks and the rock is present, you can really get a taste that the surf progressive vibe is still underneath it all, and I don't mind it. Sometimes Peter Garrett even reminds me a little bit of Geddy Lee from Rush, just that tone of the voice. Other moments remind me a little bit of The Doors, so it's not a ton of hard rock, but there's that rock element and a bit sort of tripped out there. It's pretty cool, but it's firmly based in rock. I also appreciate the verse in the track order, well done. Not a go-to kind of thing for me personally, but it is one of those ones that I think has snuck under the radar a bit, and it has for me. The harmonies are done well, the guitar work is pretty damn tasty, some nice groove in moments, keep it all an interesting listen as well. And I really like how they close this one with an 8.5-minute epic song as well. Nice touch, and it's a good song too. Funny how listening to this now I completely understand how the fans embraced Powderworks more than the actual single, because that's been the one that the fans chose, but listening to it now you can hear how that's the song that people are going to gravitate to live. Nice little discovery here, as Midnight Oil for me isn't a band that I generally gravitate towards. It's a nice listen, might be a little more open to exploring the catalogue after this for me, so it's done its job. 7.5 out of 10. Powderworks, used and abused, nothing lost, nothing gained. My standouts. Give us your thoughts, we'll move on.